Welcome, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mike Maddog, Magnotti. Nice to be here today. You know, I'll tell you a secret. The last 2 weeks, if you watched the show, I actually wasn't here. I was on vacation. I went to the Big Apple, New York City. I saw my two sisters in, what state were they in? Michigan and Minnesota, I believe. 2 M's. But I'm back. I'm live today. So nice to be here on this second to last Monday in September. I love the cool weather, but I just don't like what it precludes. I'm not a winter guy, but hey, weather's still good now, so nice to be here. But look, I want to say something before I start off today. I am casting a show for Music Theater of Wenatchee. It's called Exit Laughing. Auditions will be at the Senior Center on Maple Street this Wednesday and Thursday night, the 25th and 26th. I need women of a certain age, let me put it that way. I need a college age male and female. So if you're at all interested, go to my web page or my page at Facebook, or to go to Facebook and go to Casting Wenatchee. You'll see more information. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the end of the show. But before we start, you know, I want to talk. I was thinking about my oldest daughter, you know, and when my wife was pregnant with her, you know, I was a typical nervous father. And when she went into labor, I kind of freaked. Now, as my wife was calmly getting ready to go, I called up the hospital. I said, oh my God, my wife's in labor. She's having contractions. What do I do? And the nurse on the other line said, well, is this her first child? And I said, no, you idiot. This is her husband. And then as my daughter got older, she came and asked the inevitable question. She came and said, Dad, where do humans come from? You know, I wasn't prepared. You know, I thought she was going to ask me about the birds and the bees. I was ready for that one, where humans come from. So I just spat it out. I said, honey, we evolved from monkeys, okay? You see monkeys around, well, humans evolved from them. Well, she didn't like that answer, so she went to my wife and asked her the same thing. She said, Mom, where do humans come from? And Rosie told her, she said, well, we were created in God's image. And Marie said, well, why did Dad say we came from monkeys? And you tell a different story. And Rosie goes, oh, he was talking about his side of the family. Okay, look, I got a great show for you today. I have some people who I'm very thrilled to have on. This is an important topic we're going to talk about today. So Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mike, Maddog, Magnotti, you stick around. We will be right back.
After 21 years at the Lake Chelan Mailboxes store, Jerry and Sherry are ready to retire. Jerry and Sherry would like to thank everyone and give some lucky person a business opportunity. That's right, you could own a great small business in Lake Chelan with a proven track record. This includes FedEx, UPS, and USPS services, making it a unique offer. For information on buying Chelan mailboxes, call Jerry or Sherry, and while you're there, wish them well.
Welcome to Boswell's Home Furnishings. Come in and explore their expansive 2-story showroom at your leisure. You'll find comfort and inspiration for every room in your home. Boswell's has been filling customer furniture needs for decades, from contemporary to the classics, for living room, dining room, and bedroom sets. Purchase in-store or create your own unique style. With Boswell's complimentary design service, your vision is their passion. Where would you like to start?
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
We're here because of the children, because the children need to be protected. Their needs aren't being met.
They didn't ask for any of this stuff. It's not their choices that got them here.
The more adults that a child has that love them, the better off they are.
Children need a whole community to raise them, and if we can do any little thing, it makes a big difference in the child's life.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and Other Stuff. Now I am really proud to introduce my guest today. First of all, we have Jessica Johnson.
Hi.
Jessica, nice to be here again. You've
Yes,
been here
thank
before.
you.
Jessica's the executive director of the SAGE Agency, Safety, I'm going to get it right, Advocacy, Growth, and Empowerment. And I refer to them as our sexual assault and domestic violence treatment agency, okay? You may have a better description than that, but,
We say that we work with all victims of crime.
Okay.
So any crime that has a person attached to it, that's who we help, is the person who has experienced that trauma.
okay, cool. And with her today is one of her family and child advocates, Stacy Gold. Stacy, nice to have you.
Hi.
It's your first time on the show.
Yes, it is.
So it's good to have you. So,
Thank you.
okay, so tell us, I'll leave it up to either one of you, a little bit about Sage, the background, because a lot of people may not be familiar with your agency, so just give us a little, you know.
A little taste of.
Little history,
Yeah.
so, you know.
Yeah, so Sage was founded in 1978, so we just had our 40th anniversary. It was founded under a different name. It was the Wenatchee Rape Crisis Center, and it was
I remember that.
it was founded in conjunction with the Wenatchee PD. They felt that they needed a better response, and so volunteers, and that's how we started. And then eventually we added on domestic violence. And
Right.
then in 2006, we added on our Crime Victim Services Center and our Child and Family Advocacy Center, sorry about that, which is what Stacy does most of her work in, is
Yeah.
the Child and Family Advocacy Center. So, and we've been helping victims since that time.
Yeah.
We do things like legal advocacy, medical advocacy, general advocacy. So legal advocacy, we can go to court with people.
Right.
Medical, we respond to the hospital, and our job there is just to be present for whoever is the
Yeah.
victim.
I remember we talked earlier, I had an old friend, Jean Wood, who's since deceased, God rest her soul, was a great woman. She was the
Yes.
legal advocate, and I remember she,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
And then we have, we do, all of our services are free and confidential, so we don't care if you have insurance or not. We don't care if you're documented or not. You can put down a different name. You can put Mickey Mouse down just as long as you respond to Mickey Mouse.
okay.
When we call you back, it gets a little awkward if you don't. Then
Yeah.
we're like, Mickey, anyone? But we are able to help people hopefully navigate the trauma that they've been through.
Sure.
So that's
Because we're talking about
it.
serious stuff. I mean,
Yes,
sexual
yes.
abuse, domestic abuse, this is the high-end crime,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Yeah, and that's, I mean, you're really working where the rubber hits the road. So,
Right, and it's crimes that don't discriminate. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter if you are poor, if you're a person of color,
Mm-hmm.
if you have an alternative lifestyle, if you're rich, if you are a model, it doesn't matter. It hits anybody
Yeah.
of any socioeconomic class.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and this is something I've been happy to see about the Me Too movement coming about, because it's finally bringing to the forefront of people's knowledge that sexual assault and domestic abuse is very widespread, much more than people think, and it both lets people know that it is an issue, a serious social issue, but also lets people know that are being victimized that they're not alone and they have the ability to speak out.
Exactly.
So, okay, so Stacy, tell us a little bit about yourself, okay?
My name's Stacy, and I work in the Child and Family Advocacy Center.
Okay.
I love working with kids. They're amazing. I like just letting them know that I believe them and I'm there for them. Because some of these kids that I work with, they don't feel like anyone cares about them.
Right.
They don't have the support from their parents. Sometimes their parents won't even take them to Sage, so we get to go to them at the schools and we get to speak to them there
Sure.
in a private setting. And it's amazing. The therapist at our work always tells me connection, connection, connection. So my job, if I simple it down, is just to connect with those kids who feel like nobody cares about them.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if you knew this, but when I was with the police department, I was a child abuse detective, okay? And that was one of the issues with kids that we ran into, is that kids would disclose something was happening to them, maybe not as clearly as they might, and even with well-meaning parents. What do I do? You know, what did you do to cause this to happen, or just stay away from him? I don't know how many little girls told me that their mom said, well, just stay away from him. And there was even one case that was very close to me. It was the friend of one of my daughters, and the mother had been an abuse victim herself years ago when she was a child, had never dealt with it herself. So suddenly when her daughter comes, and the dynamic wasn't talking about some stranger, it was somebody who was very close to the family. And the mom is like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This can't be true. It's not that I don't believe my daughter, but she must be misunderstanding. And so what you're saying about believing kids is incredibly important. So you serve a great role in doing so. So
I think people just need to understand, if you think about it, when parents or relatives think, oh, they're lying, the stuff that they come and they talk about, it's serious. And as adults, we don't feel comfortable talking about those things with people that we barely know. So if a child is willing to come and talk to someone, such as someone at Sage, about something this serious, it's hard for them. So the fact that they would make it up is...
And why do kids lie?
To not get in trouble.
To not get in trouble, exactly. Okay?
Exactly.
They're not gonna lie about something that they think could get them
In trouble.
So,
And we see kids who don't disclose because the person that is doing something to them is their close family friend, an uncle, grandpa, or grandma, or mom or dad, or, it's somebody that they're usually close with.
right.
And so they don't.
That they're in a relationship with,
Right.
sometimes a dependent relationship.
Right, and oftentimes the child loves that person, as weird as that sounds.
No, not at all.
Because they are the person who they've known forever.
Sure.
And maybe they might not even realize that what's going on is wrong.
Right.
Or inappropriate, because that's all they've ever known.
And that's part of the dynamic. I mean, many abusers will tell their child, this is how I express love, this is something you're a special person, I can treat you like an adult because you're mature and that type of stuff. And yeah, the dynamics is incredible. Even before I was a police officer, I talked to women about sexual abuse issues. And I'm not exaggerating, at least 85% of the adult women I talked to said something like that happened to me. And 100% of them could tell me the name of the person who did it. So, okay, well, domestic abuse. Let's talk about
Yes.
that a little bit too.
Yes.
So, because we do want to say that next month is,
Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
yeah, that's right.
So again,
October, every October.
Every October, and pink and purple go well together. So we don't want to discount Breast Cancer Awareness Month at all, but we also want people to know that it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And domestic violence we see in our valley a lot. We see people who come in and don't even identify themselves as a victim. So, but they come in because they want to talk to somebody.
Sure.
Because they're not sure what's going on. But they will say things like, well, but they never hit me.
Right.
Or they just won't let me go to church. Or I don't get to have any of my money, things like that. And the emotional and psychological abuse, I feel like all abuse is horrible. Don't get me wrong. All of it across the board is bad. But the emotional and the psychological abuse oftentimes takes longer to heal from than the physical abuse.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Because if you are being told that you're awful, if you're ugly, whatever kind of adjectives that the abuser will use, you start believing those things, and then there's this well, maybe I am, maybe I deserve it, and then you're embarrassed too. You don't want to.
I once, was dealing with a case. It was a friend. It wasn't as a police officer, but I told her that she was an abuse victim, and she just started to shake.
Right.
Because this was something about her persona she never thought she would have to accept or understand.
Right.
So, okay. So, again, let's go back to Stacy.
Yes.
Okay. Working with the kids, what do? We're gonna take a break in a minute, but just give us a brief rundown, and then we're gonna have you introduce your friends, so.
Well, we connect. That's what my main job is, to connect with the kids and help them in whatever they need. So if they need help with their homework, I'll help them with their homework.
Oh, cool.
If they need access to school supplies, I'll figure out how to get them school supplies. I listen to what they need, and then I try to do what I can to help them specifically. And I connect, and then if there's someone thinks, if a police officer or a family member thinks that something had happened to them, my job is to build a relationship and have them feel comfortable to let me know what happened to them.
Okay.
And then I would pass that information on to law enforcement and CPS.
Okay, do you ever do the forensic interview yourself, or is this something that you have the cops do? So.
I haven't yet, but I'm going to training in October,
Okay,
and then
cool.
I will be doing, but I sit in the room with them, oftentimes with Hank,
Yeah.
our court facility dog.
Okay, all right, well, that's where we're gonna go to in a minute, but we need to take a break, and Stacy mentioned Hank, and we're gonna introduce Hank to you in a minute. But hey, we need to take a quick break, so again, I'm talking with Jessica Johnson and Stacy Gold from SAGE, our Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Treatment Center here in Wenatchee. We're gonna come back, so hey, stick around, we'll be right back, so.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh, and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbus here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. One look at the new Z series of Supreme boats and you'll know you're looking at a high-performance wake surfing boat. These boats are known as the Zeus boats because riding one is like surfing a lightning bolt, embodying the mythical trinity of surf, strength, and spirit. See the Supreme boat line at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors. We're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Okay, we're back. I'm talking with Jessica Johnson and Stacy Gold from Sage. And Stacy, as she said, is a family and child advocate, but she has a helper. She has a helper who helps kids and families become more comfortable. And you mentioned him, Hank. Would you like to introduce Hank?
Yes, I'd love to introduce Hank.
Okay, we're gonna do a little camera switching here. So,
Hank.
So,
Hank, come on.
okay, this is cool. We like this. This is the second time actually I've had an animal show. So.
Hank, sit.
Okay.
Sit. Good boy.
Okay, so what
This is Hank.
what function does Hank serve? Okay.
Hank goes in and comforts kids when they have to talk about those uncomfortable things that we were talking about. And so when they have a Hank to pet, it helps them calm down and they give better disclosures to police officers and CPS.
Okay.
And then we can go get the bad guy.
So if the cops, are going to do an interview, then call you and you'll bring Hank down?
Yes,
No, that's really
right.
cool.
And actually,
Good.
most of the time, they will call and schedule the appointment for our office because we have the child-friendly forensic interview room that has Finding Dory on the wall, right? And Stacy's going to go get trained as a forensic interviewer. I am a forensic interviewer, and so we can do that part for police and CPS if they like. And sometimes they like that, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they like being removed a little bit from the investigation, but other times they want to be the ones asking the questions. So, yeah.
Well, it depends.
It depends.
How's the Wenatchee Police Department doing on these? It's just between you and me. I want to make sure that my agency is still doing a good job.
They're doing a good job.
They're doing okay?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah. They come in and they use our room, and a lot of times they use Hank. Hank has totally changed the way that we do business at Sage, and I'm a handler of Hank. He lives with me, and when he's not working, and Stacy handles him too, and.
Okay, have Hank get up a little bit. Hank, come on, don't relax. All right, let people take a look at you. There you go.
Hank also does trials. So he goes into the room when there's trials and sits with the victims.
Oh, really?
And children.
Oh, cool. Well, you're a good dog, Hank. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Hank, come on back around here. Okay, we're gonna let Stacy come back. We're gonna go back to our other camera angle. That's great.
Under.
Because it's, making the kids feel comfortable was tough.
Yeah.
I used to have to act like a goofball. I'd sit on the floor and ask them where I should sit. I'd always ask them how to spell their name, and I would spell it wrong.
Right.
And have them
Yes. Well,
which wasn't too hard for me,
It's all about building that rapport, though. I mean, because you, like Stacy said, you may have only met this child. You know this.
Sure.
I mean, this might be the first time you're meeting this child, and you're expecting them to tell you very, very hard stuff.
Tough stuff, yeah. Right.
And depending on who it is, they don't want to get anybody they love in trouble either, even, you know, so it's those things that kind of make your heart break even more.
Yeah, I know the dynamic, well, don't have time to get into that. Maybe another time we'll do a show. We'll just talk about the dynamics of this type of thing. So, okay, though.
If you want to meet Hank, you can meet him this Saturday.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say.
So this Saturday, we're having our second annual 5K Fun Run Walk, and it's going to be at Pybus. It starts at 10 o'clock on September 28th. Hank will be there. That's right. Hank will be there in all of his glory, and you're encouraged to dress up on what you want to be when you grow up. You do not have to run. You can just walk. The police department's going to be there, the fire department with the fire trucks, Fish and Wildlife, a bouncy house. It's fun for everyone, and we get to raise money and we get to give it back to the kids that we were talking about who we connect with, and we try to make sure that we get them what they need if our grant money doesn't cover what they need.
Yeah,
so
when and where is this again?
It's Saturday, September 28th at 10 o'clock at Pybus.
Okay, so this Saturday.
This Saturday,
okay.
yeah.
So, and I guess the walk will be through Riverfront Park.
Yes.
So, okay, cool.
And we have a prize for best dressed, so.
And so people are supposed to get dressed up for what they want to be when they grow up.
So if you...
how do I dress retired?
Sunglasses, you know,
Really?
floppy brim hat.
I just maybe wear my pajamas.
Right, exactly. We're telling adults, hey, if you didn't think you would end up doing the job that you're doing, and sometimes dream of doing something else, you can dress up as that. It'll be fun.
So how are you guys going to dress? What are you going to dress up as?
An advocate.
An advocate. We have special T-shirts that we'll be wearing. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Hank may be in costume. He may not.
All right.
You'll have to show up to see.
Well, Hank, pick out a good one if you have one.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you boil it down to it, as far as domestic violence and domestic abuse awareness, what should people be aware of? What's the primary thing?
Well, we know that abusers like to isolate their victims. So if you haven't seen somebody in a while, you haven't heard from somebody in a while, check on them, and then be willing to listen. It's very easy for somebody to say, hey, you need to get out of that relationship, but you can't flip that switch because they have been invested in this relationship. Sure. Oftentimes they're embarrassed. They may act like your friend and not even just realize that they're a victim.
Then this was when I taught this stuff to the cops, this is one of the hardest things to get past. Why don't they just leave? Well, abuse often isn't the totality of the relationship.
Right.
They love this person. There are good things about them. It's not, and I used to say, it's not that they want the abuse to stop. They don't want to leave, they love the person, want to stay there, but they just want the abusive behavior to stop.
That's correct. And oftentimes what they will say will be, well, they only hit me when they're drinking or when they're high.
Or they're stressed out at
work.
work.
Or when they're stressed out at work. Well, I can tell you that if they'll hit you then, they'll hit you another time totally without other reasons. But the thing of it is that perpetrators of violence oftentimes are very charming and charismatic, and they like to manipulate you.
Big time. Oh yeah.
So when we go and talk to kids at schools, and they seem to be getting younger and younger, or when they have to start having that boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And we ask them, if you went out on a first date and then somebody hauled off and socked you across the jaw, would you go out on a second date with them? And most of them say no.
Hopefully not, right.
But there's always one that's just like, oh, you only live once.
Yeah,
and
or this is just,
maybe how they grew up. I mean,
some excuse or that type of thing.
Yeah, so.
I don't mean to cut you off, but unfortunately we got to take one last break before we come back. Okay. But hey, street talk and other stuff. Love this gal. Love you too, Stace, okay? Very nice to meet you. Jessica Johnson and Stacy Gold from SAGE, our domestic violence and sexual assault treatment provider here in Wenatchee. We're going to come back and say goodbye to them, but we need to take one last quick break, so stick around. Street talk and other stuff, we will be right back.
If you want to work in IT, here's a tip. Employers value IT certifications. 91% say they play a key role in hiring. 72% require them for certain job openings. Improve your odds of getting the job. Enroll in the Computer Networking Systems program at Charter College. In 14 months, you could earn an associate degree and 6 IT certifications. Get started at chartercollegeit.com, where we work to get you to work.
Sale, sale, sale at Collins Fashion's half-yearly sale. It's in full swing. Selected racks are 50% off your favorite brands like Tribal, Jag, French Dressing, etc., etc. Select Brighton and Lotus handbags and wallets are on sale as well. Check out our Brighton sale wall. New fall merchandise arriving daily from French Dressing, Joseph Ribkoff, Karen Kane, Clara Sunwoo, Nick and Zoe, and Comfy. Let us assist you with your wardrobe needs at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The NCW Walk to End Alzheimer's is this Saturday at 8:30 a.m. at Pybus Public Market. Come raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. Also Saturday at Pybus is a free bike helmet fitting and giveaway from Seattle Children's Hospital. The helmets are for kids ages 1 to 18 and kids must be present to be fitted. Supplies are limited. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Let Fitterers Furniture help you turn your dreams into reality with their exciting selection of quality furnishing and accessories. Whatever style you are looking for, you will find beautifully crafted furniture of exceptional value and the unmatched Fitterers customer service to make this shopping experience one you will keep coming back to. Make a point of visiting Fitterers Furniture in downtown Ellensburg.
Quality selection and service since 1896.
Okay, Street Talk and Other Stuff, we're back. Jessica Johnson and Stacy Gold. Okay, now, Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yes.
Again, just give us some brief information about that. Tell us about the walk and
Okay.
so.
Yeah, Domestic Violence Awareness Month is October. You will see more information from us going out on our Facebook pages and our social media pages. We're going to do Put a Nail in DV, which is we're asking people to have them paint their ring finger purple.
Oh, cool.
Anybody, doesn't matter, and then have them take a picture and hashtag it.
Interesting.
Put a nail in DV. So yeah, so that's something that we're having them do. So, but look, be on the lookout. We will be having more events. Stacy's Fun Run is coming up this Saturday, and we're really excited about it. And you know, if anybody needs anything, we have a 24-hour-a-day crisis line that's always staffed.
Yeah.
We do have a shelter if somebody's fleeing domestic violence. And you can...
And that shelter is private and secret, right?
Right,
This is-
yeah,
okay,
it's at an undisclosed location in either Chelan or Douglas County because we serve both counties.
Sure.
And we're located at 710 North Chelan, and our phone number is 509-663-7446.
7446, right.
Yeah, we haven't changed that in the 40 years, I don't think. And come in and see us. If you aren't a victim or you don't feel like you're a victim or anything like that, just come in and get a tour so we can show you the other stuff that we're doing.
You're willing to let people do that, huh? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Very
because we want people to know. We want people to be able to connect us with the people who need us.
Yeah.
And we also will come out and meet with people if need be. So.
And something else you can do, if you know of somebody who needs their assistance, speak up. It's hard to sometimes, particularly with a friend. I was going to mention this earlier, that sometimes when you're aware of something, you're embarrassed, you don't want to get people in trouble. But come on, we need to step up and help people that we love. If they're in a situation where they need the services of this agency, help them out with that. So. Okay, well, thank you for coming, ladies. I do want to take one personal moment and mention again, auditions for Exit Laughing. This is going to be a very funny play. I need 3 women of a certain age, so to speak. Neither of you would qualify, sorry. I need a college-age female and a college-age man, and this play is going to be funny. We will be auditioning this Wednesday and Thursday night, the 25th and 26th, at the Senior Center out on Maple Street. So, hey, would love to see you there. But again, ladies, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Good, Jessica. It's always great to see you. Stacy, very good to meet you. Hope we see each other again. Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mike Maddog, Magnotti. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
How
do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom, so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.